The Yaa Asantewa Museum, built in honor of the brave female warrior of the Asante Kingdom, now sits contrary to the dignity attached to her name.
The queen who defeated the British Empire, Yaa Asantewa, the Golden Stool, and the modern-day Ghana. When the British Empire was thought to be invincible, one queen stood up to them and refused to give up her people's most sacred treasure. Yaa Asantewa, the Queen Mother of Ejisu, led a rebellion against the British that lasted for 2 years and nearly drove them out of Ghana. Her story is one of courage, determination, and sacrifice, and it continues to inspire people around the world today. Yaa Asantewa, an important queen from the Ashanti people, led a fight against British rulers in 1900. She was born around 1840. Yaa Asantewa became a leader and led an army of 5,000 people against the British. She is still remembered in Ghana today, and her story inspires many people. Yaa was very brave and strong when the British were treating her people badly. The Golden Stool is a very special thing in Ashanti culture. It means a lot to the Ashanti people. They think it lifts their spirits and shows their togetherness and strength. The British tried to take the Golden Stool in 1896, which made the Ashanti people upset and started a big fight called the War of the Golden Stool. Yaa Asantewa led her people in fighting hard to keep their culture safe and stop the British from taking over. The War of the Golden Stool was a big deal in Ghana's history in the fight against the British. Yaa Asantewa and the Ashanti people showed that being together and being proud of who you are is very powerful. People in Ghana and other places still look up to Yaa Asantewa and the Golden Stool as examples of keeping their culture strong and not letting anyone hurt them. The fight between the Ashanti people and the British in 1900 was a very important event in Ghana's past. The British wanted the Golden Stool, which was like a special chair that meant a lot to the Ashanti people. And the Ashanti said no, and they started the big fight led by Queen Mother Yaa Asantewa. She had an army of 5,000 people with her. Yaa was very important during the fight. She gave a strong speech to her people telling them not to let the British take their freedom and independence. She led her people and they fought the British soldiers. They were strong and brave, but eventually the British caught Yaa and her group. Even though they didn't win the fight, Yaa became famous for leading her people against the British, and people in Ghana look up to her because she was very brave and a good leader, and shows how to stand up against unfair treatment. The British left the city of Kumasi after they lost. The Ashanti people fought hard and won the first 2 of 5 fights against the British Empire. But in the end, the British won and made the Ashanti people follow their rules. The War of the Golden Stool changed things in Ghana. It made many people want to be free and have their own country. Ghana became independent in 1957. Yaa Asantewa's leadership during the fight helped the Ashanti people want their own country, and the people in Ghana still remember her and what she did. Yaa Asantewa, who was the Queen Mother of Ejisu in the Ashanti Empire, was really important during this fight in the Ashanti-British War. Asantewa is famous because she led the Ashanti people against the British as they were trying to take over the land. She wanted to protect that Golden Stool, which meant a lot to the Ashanti people and showed their unity. Asantewa was very brave and a great leader. She made the Ashanti people want to be free and not let the British control them. Her story teaches us that when things are tough, we can stand up and fight for what is right. She's an important part of Ghana's history and shows how strong people can be when they work together. Yaa didn't just help during the war. She also inspired other leaders in Ghana like Kwame Nkrumah to fight for freedom. She reminds us that we can be strong leaders and make a difference, especially when we face hard times. Asantewa's story is really important for Ghana. She's a symbol of the Ashanti people and their fight against the British, and her story's been told for many years, and it helps Ghanaians know that they should always fight for their rights and not let anyone treat them badly. Asantewa also shows that women are powerful and can do great things, even if others don't always see that. Her courage and leadership still inspire Ghanaians today, making her a very special person in Ghana's history. The Golden Stool was super important to the Ashanti culture, as we mentioned. People believe it held the spirits of the Ashanti and shows their power and togetherness. And it's not just a regular chair, it's very special and at the heart of Ashanti customs. The king of Ashanti sits on the Golden Stool and it's passed down in their family. Only very trusted and respected people can touch it because it's sacred. The Golden Stool is a big part of who the Ashanti people are, and it shows their strength and pride, especially when they had to fight against people who wanted to take over their land. In the Ashanti-British War, the golden stool became really important. In 1896, the British wanted the stool because they thought it showed the Ashanti people were against them. They tried to take it by force, but the Ashanti said no and protected it. Queen Mother Yaa Asantewa, who was the powerful leader, helped the Ashanti people fight against the British to keep it safe. They had a big fight, the War of the Golden Stool, and in the end, the stool stayed with the Ashanti people. The story is still important in Ghana today. Ashanti's Queen Mothers are remembered as strong and important people in Ghana's history, like Yaa Asantewa. The Golden Stool still shows the Ashanti people's identity and how they fought against the people who wanted to control them, and the Ghanaian government still thinks the stool is important today. Asantewa's story and the Golden Stool remind us of how strong the Ashanti people are and how they kept their traditions alive even when things were tough. Yaa Asantewa's bravery, guiding the Ashanti forces to stand up against the British until the end, is still honored and remembered, and her legacy teaches us about the strength and determination of Ghanaians when facing tough times. Asantewa's impact can be seen in Ghana now. The Golden Stool, a strong symbol of the Ashanti people's identity during the War of the Golden Stool, is still very important in their culture and leadership. Yaa Asantewa's story has inspired today's leaders and activists in Ghana to always fight for fairness and equality, and her bravery and leadership keep motivating and empowering Ghanaians today. Ghana values Yaa Asantewa's bravery and sacrifice. Her story is taught in schools and universities all over the country. People celebrate her legacy with special days and statues. The Ejisu Yaa of Ejisu, the place where Yaa Asantewa was Queen Mother, continues to be an important part of Ghana's culture and politics. Remembering Yaa Asantewa reminds us to stand up against unfairness and to fight for what's right, even when things are hard. Yaa Asantewa's leadership of the Ashanti Rebellion and her defense of the Golden Stool are really important parts of Ghana's history. Asantewa was like the protector of the Golden Stool, and her actions were a big reason for the last fight between the Ashanti people and the British, called the Anglo-Ashanti War also. Her courage in leading the fight against the British still makes Ghanaians feel strong and confident today. It's special to remember and honor people like Yaa Asantewa who did important things for their communities and countries. When we learn about their struggles and successes, we understand more about our shared history and how colonization affected African nations. Also, it's important to show how women like Yaa were leaders, which helps make things fairer between genders. Asantewa's story is important now in Ghana and in other places, and again, the Golden Stool is still a sign of togetherness and who the Ashanti people are. Yaa Asantewa's bravery reminds us that we should never let anyone treat us badly, and we should always fight for freedom and fairness. And her story shows that Ghanaians are strong and brave, and it inspires young people for the future. We need to honor people like Yaa Asantewa for what they did to make our history and identity strong. Her legacy teaches us about leadership and strength when things are hard. That's going to do it for today's video, but if you liked it, please make sure you share it and subscribe to our channel. And one more thing, please hit the bell icon so you get more great content from us. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll do it again soon. Have a great day.